It is beautiful. It's so angry and grunty. Oh, just on the downshift. Sounds absolutely phenomenal. Let's see. Really, I think the exhaust sounds, you know, that bit angry. Oh. Hello, welcome to Invictus Porsche. Today we have a Porsche 911 that you wouldn't normally find in a Miami blue because that color came a bit later, but I'll give you 5 reasons for why you should perhaps buy a 997, and within those 5 reasons, I'll cover why you should perhaps buy this. Before I can cover my 5 reasons, don't forget to press that subscribe button. Whatever we make out of the YouTube goes to charity, and normally we make on average about £200 a month. Reason number 1, perhaps why you should buy it, is because it had a £10,000 plus engine rebuild on this, with an additional £1,000 worth of maintenance work, such as the front condensers and water pump. So this has had all the engine remedial works. You know, it's been stripped, clean, rebuilt. Labours wise, you're looking at about £5,000 plus VAT. So it's obviously had the uprated EPS IMS bearing with Westwood replacement liners, Westwood piston rings. So all in all, you're looking at 5 grand, 3 grand, including VAT. We've just spent, as you can see, just over £10,000. This should be the main key reason to perhaps why you should buy this 911, because you will also get it with a 2 years warranty, and it's been rebuilt by a very good company called Track Powertrain. They specialize in race engines. Reason number 2 is how amazing they sound, which I will start in a minute. But also, this has the sports exhaust, and you can hear me open and close the valves. For that, I'll leave the mic out here, but within the same reason, which is the 2, is this beautiful color scheme. If you're wondering when this color was done because you couldn't spec a 997.1 in a Miami blue from factory, this color scheme was done in 2018 by a very well-known body shop called Riviera Auto Body south of Oxford. And I've got to say, what an amazing, phenomenal job they've done. Something like this would set you back about 8 grand. Let's leave my microphone at the back and fire that engine up. As you can hear the exhaust, this is with the valves open. The indirect fuel injected engines, the sound they produce is exhilarating, raw and extremely authentic. The best way to describe it, I feel like the 997.1 has more of a character over the 997.2, where even the sports exhaust from the .2 sounds a bit like a Hoover. The third reason is it's a convertible. And the convertible, as a matter of fact, in the UK are extremely, extremely desirable. And that is because it's the best-selling car. I mean, any convertible out here in the UK is amongst the best-selling here for the UK market. I don't know the reason behind it, but here you go. 911 in terms of convertibles, just in general, they seem to do extremely well. We buy and sell these cars, and coupes we struggle with massively, both into some for some reason, both in summer and in the winter. However, convertibles, they sell. They're not weather dependent as some would like you to think, because it's a car that you can take abroad. But my favorite reason for the convertible is the fact that you could actually have 2 passengers at the back in a Porsche 911 and not have to worry about the sleek roof hitting your head when you're sitting inside it, because with a convertible with the roof down, you can sit very comfortable at the back. Before I can talk about my favorite reason, which is the 5th reason, I'm going to cover the 4th, which is the spec. Obviously the Miami blue, this has an absolutely stunning spec. Right from the get-go, when the cameraman walks in, he will see that plate on the door sill that says Carrera S. This has this beautiful steering wheel, which has been wrapped in Alcantara with this red marker in the center, with the sports steering wheel, which is actually multifunctional steering wheel. It's got my favorite bit of spec, including the fact that this has the chrono watch, sports exhaust, PASM. a light clutch kit. I mean, so it makes changing gears extremely beautiful and exquisite and fast. And the gear selector here in the middle is finished in aluminium, which is also a very nice touch. You've got the grey leather with Bosa, and a bit of an upgrade that is absolutely essential on these, especially if you're going to be dailying one of them or taking them out on trips, is to listen to your music and pick up and drop telephone calls, is that this has got the Pioneer head unit. So if you've got one of these 997s, consider doing this because it is well worth the money. And overall, this has sports seats, and these it's got the, I think, the 16 or the 18-way electrically adjustable memory seats button. And now let's get on to my fifth reason, which is to drive here. My favorite to fifth, which is fifth reason, how they drive. Well, firstly, you've got the hydraulic steering. So you actually engage with the vehicle, and you actually feel like you're driving a bit of a history amongst the Porsche 911s. You know, you get something with a bit of a character. So it's great to have that steering wheel as hydraulic because of how it feels to go around corners, and finished in Alcantara makes it extremely enjoyable to hold. And now there's other bits of aspects of the 997, such as the braking system, still slightly old school, so don't think you're Lewis Hamilton for a moment, because you still need to respect and appreciate the car. This is the 3.8 litre Carrera S, so you get phenomenal performance out of it, and the 3.8 S are the most desirable 911s out there, and the best-selling 911s, especially for the UK market. So in terms of performance, obviously this is the Boxer 6-cylinder indirect fuel-injected engine, which produces 350 brake horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque, and a 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. And the top speed is still, wait for it, 182 miles an hour. I'm not going to be suggesting anybody to be driving at 182 miles an hour unless you're on the Autobahn or on a track. Now, about this 911, the Spec makes it extremely enjoyable to ride, starting from having PASM. By pressing that, you've got the suspension dampers that become stiffer. So let's press the next button, which is the sports exhaust. You can already hear how gruntier it is. So let's do this beautiful run one more time. Oh, that sound, I don't know whether you can hear it, but it is beautiful. It's so angry and grunty. Oh, just on the downshift, sounds absolutely phenomenal. Let's see. Really, I think the exhaust sounds, you know, that bit angry. Oh, you know, as I drop down to the second, that burble you get out of the sports exhaust, you know, Porsche sports exhaust. It's not been modified in any other way, just from factory. Beautiful. And at 4,000 RPM, this is where really the sweet spot. This is where these cars really start to give you what they're really made out of. Obviously, we're in a village at 30 miles an hour. There are bits of roads where I can actually get the best out of it, but overall, I'm telling Mum, this This is just an absolute joy of a car to ride, especially in the convertible. You just saw those young lads seeing the color scheme, you know, just not sure what they were doing, but you know, they were shouting, I don't know, positively or negatively. Let's not take any notice. Wow. Oh, just wait for the burble, wait for the burble. Ah. So all in all, I've covered the 5 reasons on perhaps whether you should consider buying a 997. We have a few in stock. This is probably amongst my favorite, but above all, there's a couple of things that I would like to cover on this 911. That is to tell you that unfortunately it has been in a minor accident in 2015 from memory, and it's been given the lowest category in terms of an accident, which is a category D. And it gets more and more severe if you start to look into category C, N, etc., etc., etc. The damage from memory, the previous customer told me, was to the rear passenger side wing. So not a great deal of damage. And the color paint change happened as an option 3 years down the line at a cost of about £8,000 at Riviera Auto Body. So should you want to confirm it with them, you're more than welcome to. I purchased it from the previous owner, who had actually purchased it from Romans in St. Albans. Romans in St. Albans, as a matter of fact, had sold it to him, I think, about 1.5 years ago for about 32 grand. And we got it at, I think, at a good price. Have spent a fair bit of money on it, including doing the engine rebuild due to scoring on the liners, because some people unfortunately don't run these cars as they should properly. So this is, at the moment, as it stands right now, done 39,016 miles. So you've got a running in period, still approximately 900 miles remaining. So if you are looking for one, and if you've got some questions about a 997 just in general, or the 2 years warranty that comes with it, or the engine rebuild, or any invoices or service history, we pretty much have it all. So I just would like to say thank you very much for your time, and stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and let us know what you thought of this. Thank you. Bye-bye.